Slide 54, Lesson 3, Special letters in front of words. The preposition bet, which means in, on, by, or with. If we take the word sade, which means field, a field, sade, sin, dalet, hay, and we add the bet, we get besade, besade, or besade, which means in a field, in a field. If we take the word for truth, emet, aleph mem tav, and we add the bet, we have be'emet, be'emet, which means in truth, in truth. And this is a very common expression in modern Hebrew. It's like saying truly. If you say, I saw Elvis, or I met the Messiah, they would say be'emet, truly. So be'emet, a very common word in modern Hebrew, and it literally means in truth. If we take the word for temple, hayachal, and we add the bet, we get bahayachal, bahayachal, in a temple, in a temple. Now, if the word has the definite article, that is hay in front of the word, and we want to add a bait in front of that to say in the, whatever the word is, then the hay gets absorbed. For example, as we saw above, the word for temple is hayachal. If we have the word ha-hayachal, it actually means the temple. The temple, ha-hayachal. And if we want to say in the temple, we put the bet in front of it, and we get bahayachal, bahayachal. But the hay has been absorbed, if you like, but the bet now has a patach under it. It has a long ah sound instead of a short eh sound from the vocal shiva that it normally would have. That's because the hay has got absorbed. Just think of it as you would naturally say it. You would say ba-ha-hayachal. And if you say it quickly enough, it's kind of ba-hayachal. The hay gets absorbed into the bet. So there we go, ba-hayachal. That means in the temple. In the temple. So we see that bet means in or on or by or with when added to the front of a word. And when added to a word with a hay, meaning the hay gets absorbed into the bet with the vocal shiva, and the vocal shiva is dropped and the patach is adopted, for example. So hayachal, ha-hayachal, becomes ba-hayachal, in the temple. So that's bet. Slide 55, Lesson 3, Special letters in front of words. The preposition lamed, which means to or for. If we take the word for youth, na'ah, nun, ayin, resh, and we add the lamed, we get le-na'ah, for a young man. So na'ah, a youth or young man, becomes le-na'ah, for a young man. It could also mean to a young man. Of course, it just depends on context in the verse, how you want to say it. If we take the word for covenant, berit, and we add the lamed, we get leverit, 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 for a covenant, leverit. If we take the word emor to say, and we put the lamed in front of it, we get lemor, which actually means to say or saying. And that's a very common term you find in the Torah. Vayomer Yahweh el Moshe. And Yahweh said to Moses, or he said to Moses saying, lemor. Now if we have a word with the definite article, the in front of it, or the hey in front of it, and we add the lamed, then just like in the previous example, the hey gets absorbed by the lamed. So let's just look at a word without the hey, the word ish, or man, or a man, and we add the lamed, we get leish, leish, to, or for a man. Okay, but if we take a word for the man, ha'ish, ha'ish, the man, and we add the lamed, the hey gets absorbed, and the kametz is put under the lamed from the hey, and so we get la'ish, la'ish. So it's spelt the same as the one above, but the vowel is different, and so it means the man. So it's to or for the man. Now, you can tell by context. You may not remember all of these rules, but when you're actually reading in context, you'll tell whether it's a to the man or a man. But this is just a further clue. The lamed, the vocal sheave under the lamed is lengthened to account for the long ah sound of the hey, meaning the. So it's not le-ish, it's la-ish, to the man, or for the man. So that's lamed, the preposition lamed, meaning to or for when put in front of a word. Slide 56. Special letters in front of words. The preposition kaf, which means like, or as, or according to. If we take the word Malak, meaning a king, and we add the kaf to it, K-Malak, K-Malak, the hirak underneath it, meaning like a king, like a king. Another example, if we take the word for a covenant, berit, berit, a covenant, and we add the kaf to the front of it, we have the word kibrit, or kibrit, like a covenant, like a covenant. Can be also as a covenant, or as a king, or according to a king, and so forth. And just as in the other examples, if we add the definite article the letter hey, with the petach under it in this example, the hey gets absorbed when we add the kaf, and the kaf takes on the patach of the hay. So Ha-Melech, the king, Ha-Melech, the king, becomes Ka-Melech, Ka-Melech. Notice the patach under the kaf, unlike over here where it just had a cherek. Now the kaf has taken on the long vowel sound of the hay, meaning the, and we get Ka-Melech, like the king, or as the king, or according to the king. Another example, Ha-Berit, Ha-Berit, the covenant. When we add the kaf to the front, we get Ka-Berit, Ka-Berit. Not carburetor, no, but Ka-Berit, like the covenant, or as the covenant, or according to the covenant, depending on the context, how you want to translate it. But that's what the kaf does and means and behaves when we add it to the front of a noun. It means like, or as, or according to.